Okay, so for the next batch of articles, we're gonna kick things off by replying to a content creator, Farah ITV or something. I don't know how to say your name, dog. My bad. He appeared on my For You page and he was talking about anime gamers. But before we get into talking about what he's talking about, friendly reminder, whatever I'm about to say is just attacking the argument. I'm not attacking the person. I don't know them. I don't have any issue. We're just talking about fucking video games. If I do say something negative. But anyways, here's what he has to say. He has something to say about anime games, which is
popular opinion. Anime gaming is dead. We all know this. So the way to save it is to have a Marvel rival anime game. You know, having Goku as like a tank, Luffy as DPS, Naruto as a DPS, Chopper as a healer, type of game. That would be very cool. And it would probably save the anime gaming industry. I'm tired of the fighters, especially the 3D ones aren't that fun. 2D, okay. The 3D ones, unpopular.
Okay, so he says anime games are dead, and he thinks what would resurrect them is the release of anime's version of Overwatch or Marvel Rivals. So I agree and disagree. I agree with the first half. Anime games are in fact dead. Here's where I'm gonna slightly deviate though. I hate to break it to this creator and everybody in the chat. Nigga, anime games have been dead. Like, this didn't just happen because Sparking Zero fucking sucks. Yeah, it sucks, nigga. Yeah, I'm here for you niggas, bruh. Them shitty ass tournaments y'all put on where y'all was flying up and down like a fucking elevator. Nobody wanted to watch that shit. Y'all did that shit for $50, ruined the community. Anyways, it's not because of Sparking Zero. Anime games have been dead. They've been making the same anime games for the last, since I would probably say Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 3. The first two is cool because, you know, it's the first game in the series. The second one, you build upon it. The third one is like the climax. And then they kept going. They went like Naruto to Boruto, Ultimate Ninja, Generation Shinobi, some bullshit. Then they did the fourth and the fifth one. And then they started making all these spin-off games. You got every year there's a new 3D arena anime fighter game. So like the series, anime games have been dead because you guys keep making the same fucking games. When I say you guys, I mean Bandai Namco in specific. Anime games have been dead since like, I don't know. I feel like the last creative really like era of anime games really was all the way up to like Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 3. And then before that, you had like more creative action adventure anime games. There are some sprinkled in, like Nexus What's a Name is a fire game. What's that one? Nexus what? The one that was on Game Pass. Code Vein sucks. Maybe Code Vein 2. Scarlet Nexus. Yeah, Scarlet Nexus is a good anime game. But the problem with Scarlet Nexus is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's an original anime. I don't think that's based off of a manga or a show. So it didn't have, you know, the fandom going into it. I'm hoping that Gachakuchi game that they announced will be good. They could do maybe some type of Monster Hunter, trash Monster Hunter type of thing. I'm not gonna hold my breath. I don't know who's producing that game, but I'm hoping that Gachakuchi game is good. Digimon was solid. Digimon is a good game. But you know, it's turn-based, so a lot of people aren't gonna play it. They want the live action type of situation. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and say. Anime games have been dead. I'm happy to see that niggas is finally waking up and realizing it. It only took you 10 years, but I mean, better late than never. You know, better late than a win's a win, chat. A win's a win. The next step is you need to start holding Bandai's Namco's feet to the fucking fire and challenging them whenever they announce something. In my opinion, the turning point should have been Jump Force. Everybody and their mama, including me, was excited about Jump Force. When they betrayed us with that bullshit ass game, everybody should have stopped buying Bandai Namco games. And what happened? You lined up and you bought some more. So honestly, it's y'all fault. Give it up for yourselves. I don't know why anybody had their hopes and dreams in fucking Sparking Zero after fucking Jump Force. Jump Force proved that you guys will bend it over. You will bend over. Jump Force proved you guys, and what I'm about to say, if it don't apply, let it fly. Jump Force proved that you will pull down your pants to your ankles, you will bend over and say, peg me. And I like it. And I want some more. More Naruto, Ultimate Ninja Storm, more Shinobi Strikers, more bullshit ass anime Code Vein. More. DLC, need that. Charge me for it. Need that. Fucking anime games have been in a terrible place, and it sucks because it's such a great medium. That That being said, on the second half of this video, he said what would save anime games is a Marvel Rivals type anime game. I don't agree with that. Reason being is the thing about hero shooters is they have their moment for like a few months and then they die off pretty quickly because the community is toxic as fuck. So imagine a world where you combine the communities of hero shooters, which is one of the most toxic. It's one of the most toxic subgenres in the gaming community. And then you combine the anime community, which is one of the most perverted and toxic communities in entertainment, period. If those worlds collide, you will create a nuclear bomb of toxicity that nobody's gonna enjoy. The game might be decent. It might be decent, but you're not gonna enjoy it because the community is gonna be fucking terrible. So if they were to do that, I wouldn't want them to do it right now. Maybe like 5 years down the road. Because the problem with it right now is here's another problem for this game. Marvel Rivals has it right now. So any hero shooter that comes out afterwards, where you're talking about like some third person hero shooter, people gonna be like, oh, that's Marvel Rivals. The same way the same thing happened with Overwatch. You remember all the games Overwatch killed? You remember Struggleborn, Battleborn? That shit is just Overwatch. Or Lawbreaker, that shit is just Overwatch. So right now is not a good time to put out a hero shooter because everybody is just going to compare it to the current hot hero shooter because most people are not capable of critical thinking. It could be a completely different game with new unique mechanics, but from the eye test, it's going to look the same to them. And because they're all drones, they're just going to say, I'm not playing that shit. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about Goku when I got Deadpool? I think when it comes to anime games, I wish one of these companies would make a full-blown action MMO. Imagine a world where you get to create your own unique ninja inside the Naruto universe. And then after you create the ninja, the way they look, you get to pick what village you're from. And based off of that, you can learn any skill, but you'll start off specializing in certain skills and it'll make it harder to learn other ones. So when you're born, you can choose the sand village, the rain village, the leaf village, whatever villages there are, right? And then you could train amongst other certain ninjas and learn powers, go on missions with friends. Imagine running through the trees with your niggas doing the Naruto run, doing Black Ops missions and shit. And then PvP? What? Put an original story in that bitch with raids? Like imagine doing a raid where Orochimaru attacks the Leaf Village and you and your niggas gotta pull up? That shit could be fire. That sounds fire. Shinobi Strikers could have been this. It could have been this, bruh. It could have been this. And I'm just giving Naruto as an example. You can do it with any anime, but I think off the top of my head, Naruto would, and I'm not saying this because my name's Okage, but Naruto would be perfect for a fucking MMO. As long as, like Final Fantasy 14, yeah. As long as they create some unique fighting mechanics in it to keep it interesting, that's unlimited content and money they could be making. Hunter x Hunter, they could do it with that too. That's what I would like to see. But the problem with MMOs is they cost a lot of money to develop and they cost a lot of effort and talent. Now Bandai Namco does have a lot of money to create an MMO, but they don't have a lot of effort and talent. Let's be real here. Because if they did, they'd make a new game, but they don't. They keep making Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm and then they put a new coat of paint on it. This one is Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm with Demon Slayer characters. This one's Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm with My Hero Academia characters. This one's Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm with fucking what's the joint? Bleach characters. It's all the same fucking shit. Fuck Bandai. We saw what they did with One Punch Man. They did a One Punch Man game too. Y'all probably don't even remember. That shit was ass. It could be a bigger Road to Ninja game. They have the talent because their new game is really good. What game are you talking about? Demon Slayer will go crazy with that. In their defense, anime fans will still buy it. And that's another problem too. Anime fans are just bottom of the barrel. That's another agenda I've been pushing. I'm glad people are starting to wake up to this. Anime gamers are on the same tier to me as ball and gun gamers in terms of their choices in games. It's just they don't play ball and gun games. They strictly play anime games and then complain about the state of the quality of those games instead of just, boycotting them. Anime fans are desperate. They're not that desperate because they won't. And it's funny because anime fans, they have limitless manga and anime to watch and read. Like, I don't understand why you guys keep buying all these bad games. You have other things to keep you busy. But That's what I would say. I would say I halfway agree with this. Like, yeah, you're right. Anime games are dead. They've been dead. I'm glad you guys are waking up. But I don't think right now would be good for an anime hero shooter. I think an MMO would be fire for an anime. Maybe some other genres. I would take also to a fighting game, specifically a proper fighting game like Dragon Ball Fighters with like Naruto or Demon Slayer characters or something like that. A proper combo system with some depth to it. I would take an action adventure game, but it's got to be an action adventure game with some original mechanics in it. My problem with Dragon Ball Kakarot was Dragon Ball Sparking Zero single player. Like I need them to do something with the mechanics to make it stand out more. More RPG anime. Yeah, I want to see more RPG anime. More customization, bruh. I just said this, TBH, LOL. Yeah, that's why I couldn't get in it. Like, Dragon Ball Kakarot looks like a decent game, but it's like, it didn't do enough with the formula to where I'm like, wait, remember J-Star Victory? Yeah, J-Stars was Jump Force before Jump Force, but J-Stars was exclusive to Japan. I only know about that game because I have it on the Vita. For those unaware, that's basically... J-Stars is the good version of Jump Force, but it's in a Japan exclusive. Dog, they should make an anime 3v3 fighter like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I would take that. Like a tag fighter, I would take that. They just need to get away from the 3D. All right, this is how I'm gonna end this topic. I would prefer an MMO, a Naruto MMO, but anything at this point but a fucking arena fighter, okay? Anything. So what, like a better version of Xenoverse 2? No, I enjoyed the game with Kensharo. What's that shit called? Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise. That's a good anime game. I enjoyed that one. If you're looking for a different type of anime game, I played that one on stream. I enjoyed that one. Just more action adventure type shit. I don't know. The only company that I would trust with a unique anime game MMO would be Sega type shit. Lost Paradise was fun. It was fun, but people didn't play that. They slept on it because unfortunately Fist of the North Star is an old head anime. So Black Clover has so much potential for a game. Black Clover would be good for an MMO. I love Black Clover. Black Clover could do the same thing as Naruto if you want to go with a more modern route, because Black Clover is more modern. But it's the same thing if you never watched Black Clover, for those unaware. There's different factions, different magic teams. So you could create your own character, do missions with your friends, and you decide if you want to join the Black Bulls or if you want to join the Praying Mantises or whatever other teams there were. I can't remember off the name of my head. The Fire Team, I remember, and shit like that. They could easily do that, man. They could easily do that shit. Just some food for thought. I think the gist, before I move on to the next topic, is anime community, do better. Start calling out Bandai Namco. I don't know why they have a monopoly on shit, but they do. Black Clover has a MOBA that you played, TBH. That shit was ass. It wasn't a MOBA, it was a hero shooter. They used to call it Clover Watch. Well, it wasn't ass. It just didn't do anything different from Overwatch, so it died pretty quickly. Shout out to Spartan Legends with the $20 super chat. He said Shinobi Strikers was supposed to change the game for anime. They fumbled that. Shinobi Strikers did have potential. The problem with Shinobi Strikers, I think, is the combat lacked depth. And then I'm talking about from like the combo system. And then the camera was ass. That shit was terrible. Can I give my character Asta's voice? You just want to scream? Is that what you want? But I mean, anime games may be dead, but fighting games aren't. Let's talk about a real fighting game. Let's get off the topic of Arena 3D brawlers. Alex has been announced for Street Fighter 6 and looks like he's dropping on March 17th. No use holding back when faced with the Dark Devil himself, as he'll show you no mercy with his array of devastating, powerful throws. I want a Legacy of Goku style of game. Legacy of Goku was underrated. I think there was 3 of them on the Game Boy Advance. Those are underrated. What's up, buddy?
Guys like me can make some good cash putting their bodies on the line. Besides, I'm used to...
Shout out to Garces with the super chat. Appreciate you. I seen the Marathon Dev Diary. I appreciate the super chat.
Lately, I can't help but thinking. Seemed like a lifetime ago that I was spending my time fighting in the streets.
All right, sure. Round 1. Fight.
Will I ever let viewers on the podcast now that it's weekly? Nope. It's already hard enough getting 4 adults together on time for a schedule. Adding another person into it? Nope. we used to let viewers on the podcast. There's a reason why we stopped. I can't give you an exact number, but let's give a hypothetical. If I said we allowed 10 people on the podcast, like 7 or 8 of them were late. Matter of fact, I remember, this is when I knew I was maturing as an adult. I remember there was one episode, because it used to be a perk for the Patreon. We used to have one. If you subscribe to the $50 tier, we gave you a chance if you wanted to be on the podcast. I remember we told the person when we were recording, they agreed to show up on time, right? We waited about 15, 20 minutes. We gave him grace. He never showed up. He never said anything. So then we just decided to record. He was like, fuck it, whatever. It's his money. I don't care. Long story short, we're about halfway through the episode recording, and then somebody hopped in the Discord and just started, hey, what's up? When I tell you, like, I could feel my ears getting hot, like you ever wanted to punch somebody through the fucking screen? Like, he was like, hey, what's up? I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I had to stop. I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? And he was just like, well, he's like, what? I was like, yo, we told you what time to show up. I was like, nah, you're not finna be on the show. We in the middle of the show. I had to edit that shit out. I was like, we not finna do this, nigga. No, you're not finna fuck up my money, my flow. So, you know, I said to say this. I appreciate that you want to be part of the show, but it's like, there's a reason why I don't let people on my stream and I'm not letting people on the podcast. Like, you may not be a bad apple, but a lot of people are, and a lot of people are hella unprofessional. And I'm letting y'all know right now, I have zero patience for that shit. One of the main things that people always say when they work with me on set is they be like, he's on time and he's super I don't play that shit, bro. But anyways, except for when it comes to my stream, I don't have no schedule because I don't give a fuck. Back to Alex. But that's why.
Come on. I can hear the fans snoring.
And now, before we move on, just to be fair, it's even worse. Mind you, what the story I just told y'all, that happened back when I was like in my 20s, probably mid-20s, whenever that happened, whenever the Patreon was going on. Now, like 10 years later, you know, JG got kids, Watts is married. You know, I got my situation going on too. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all only have one free day of the week. So it's like, we can't be fucking around with it. Ethos, that nigga just be playing games. I don't know what he be doing, but like, he don't play no games. Yeah, niggas growing up type shit. The music is fire. I'm not gonna lie, this character kind of my speed. I never played Alex before. You know who I did play? I'm sorry, I keep pausing this. You know how I did play? This past weekend, me and my girl, we went to an arcade. We was just walking around the city, and then we found this arcade in LA. I think we was like in East LA or some shit, right? We was getting tacos. This shit was fire. We ended up going into this arcade, and it was $20, and it was all you can play. So we went in there, and they had a Street Fighter 4 cabinet multiplayer. You know, she plays Street Fighter 6. I've played every Street Fighter since Street Fighter 2. So it was, come on, let's run it. But she's never played Street Fighter 4 before. If you play Street Fighter, you can get the basics in any version. Anyway, she's never fought Dudley before because Dudley's not in 6. So I picked Dudley and just washed her ass. But she's like, who the fuck is that? They're the most powerful black man in fucking Street Fighter. You guys need to put Dudley in Street Fighter. That will make me come back to Street Fighter 6. Put Dudley in the fucking game, bro. Yeah, Rolling Thunder. I love that little grab he does, that sweep that throws him in the air. I miss Dudley. That was my favorite character. And then also we played Dance Dance Revolution. That's when she found out. Y'all probably don't even know this shit. I'm good at Dance Dance Revolution. He was like, what the fuck? I never would have played. I beat her ass. I beat her by like 3 times the score. I was like, yeah, I get busy in Dance Dance Revolution. We used to have one at the YMCA. I used to play it after school. She's like, I wouldn't have played you in this shit if I would have known that. I was like, why would I tell you? I play everything, nigga. I play games over here.
You ain't running your mouth now!
He's from Street Fighter Alpha, right? Third strike. Ooh. I kind of like him. What's that arcade? I live in LA. It's literally called Family Arcade. It's just called Family Arcade. It's $25 at the door, and you can play. They had a lot of games in there. They had air hockey. They got like the basketball thing. They have a shit ton of arcade machines in there. It was fire. If you want to take somebody on a date, it's called Family Arcade. Look it up. You just got to make sure you stay in there for at least an hour or two so you get your money's worth. You don't want to be in there for 5 minutes and leave. But like, there's enough games in there. You can stay in there for at least 2 hours. They had this cool Star Wars game. Broke his leg. They had this fire Star Wars game where like you had to actually walk in the capsule. It was a TIE fighter, and then you had to control the TIE fighter. It was pretty cool. Family Arcade is still in business. Why I thought it was over. You been there? It's an old staple or something. If you were an arcade machine, what game would you be? Sonic Pinball. They had a bunch of pinball machines. I was like, I wonder how much like an arcade like this costs to run. Like, is it worth it? Might be like a business opportunity there. Maybe I'll open my own joint like that. I would do that. Where it's like, $15-20 at the door. You can play all you want. But he looks cool. Anybody excited? Anybody coming back to Street Fighter? Anybody? Shit, that's the deal. Tight shit. Ball and gun games only. The Ball and Gun Arcade. They had Time Crisis. That's fucking funny. We have an update on what's going on in the PS4 community. Check out what's going on in the PS4 community.
Grant one wish, anything that is within my power. State your wish.
Almighty Shenron, please, I beg you, I have one wish. Please, make every PS4 owner upgrade to a PS5.
Your wish is beyond my power.
Beyond your power? What do you mean? You're the Almighty Shenron. You can grant any wish.
I cannot fix a PS4 owner's broke mentality. Tell them get out their mama's basement and get a job.
Shout out to this creator, Jerry Sensei. I'm leaving a like. This just randomly appeared on my For You page. It just warms my heart because like a couple years ago, people swore that I was just being an asshole and being insensitive. Like, no, it's time. We're going to wait. It's World War PS4 over here. I'm a fucking PS4 bigot. We're going to wage war against these niggas. And anytime I see some funny shit like that, I'm going to highlight it. That's right. Get these niggas the fuck out of here, bro. Shout out to this creator. This was a funny ass skit. I said, ooh, let me save this to share. Love this shit. Yeah. Shit. Never wrong, just early. Tight shit. Never wrong, just early. Gears of War E-Day is set in one city as it's both a rich environment to tell a great story and the best gameplay playground for an intense cover-based shooter. We got some Gears of War details here. I'm hoping we get to see this tomorrow. Today is the 21st. Tomorrow, the 22nd, is the Xbox event. I will not be streaming it because I'll be busy. I'm going to an event tomorrow. I may or may not stream tomorrow. It depends on how I feel because the event is literally from 9 to 6, so I'll be busy all day. If I do stream tomorrow, I will go over whatever they announce, but it depends on how I feel. And then also, I got to get home in a timely manner because this is LA that I live in. So if I can get home by like 7 and I feel okay, I might stream. But if not, fuck you niggas. I'll be back on Friday. All right, to talk about this shit. Yeah, Watts will probably be live streaming this shit. But anyways, Gears of War E-Day's creative director has confirmed that the story of the game will take place in a single city. Rather than the follow-up on Gears 5, the Coalition surprises with the news that the next Gears of War will instead be a prequel, focusing on Emergence Day from the perspective of Marcus and Dom. In an exclusive interview with Games Radar, Searcy spoke about the decision to make E-Day a far more intimate affair than the open-ended Gears 5. He explains the story of Emergence Day is really about what happened to the people of Serra. It was a massive worldwide event, and we wanted players to feel the impact, so we set the whole game in a single city called Kalanoa. Yeah, we need that gameplay tomorrow. The decision to set it here was based on its importance to the COGS, Searcy explained, as it's named after one of its founders, Roman Colonna. Our story is set over consecutive days, so many players can become intimate within the city. He says, adding, he wants them to feel the loss of what was here, the history, the people, and the lives that they were living. It's basically going to be a horror story, because if you never played Gears of War, Emergence Day is the day that the locusts, if you ever seen pictures of Gears of War, the day the monsters appeared out of the ground and just fucked the world up, basically. That's what the story is going to be about. That's why I'm excited. This is interesting. The director says Klonoa is a rich environment to tell a great story, but on top of that, a city is great for the gameplay too, as it's the best gameplay playground for an intense cover-based shooter like Gears. We haven't seen much of Gears of War E-Day since its announcement, but it's still scheduled to release sometime in 2026 on Xbox PC, so hopefully we'll see it sometime soon. The fact that this interview dropped today, it makes me feel like, and maybe I'm just being wishful, I'm hoping we see it tomorrow. Like, what's the coincidence that we finally get some new details on this game the day before the Xbox event? And they said 4 games are going to be shown. So I'm hoping that it's being shown tomorrow. I have a feeling the story is going to be fire in this. What I do question about Gears of War is E-Day. What are they going to do from a gunplay, a gameplay standpoint? Since this takes place before all the other games, this is because they've done a prequel before. We don't talk about it, but they've done one before. That shit was ass. But this is the prequel before the prequel. This is the prequel's prequel, right? The preacher's prequel. They got to add new weapons and gameplay mechanics. So how do you explain that within the story? And then ask somebody to go play the later games and pretend like that shit doesn't exist, you know? It's kind of the same issue they had with Batman Arkham Origins. They finna add slide mechanics and shit like that. I'm curious to see what they do different, bro. I'm a Gears of War buff. Love the novels too. Yeah, Gears of War is a great example of like great. Check your text. Okay, is a. Oh, I see it. I'll sign it after we're. Aaron, I'll sign it after when I'm done before I go to bed. I'll sign it. Gears of War is a great example of. What was I about to say? Of storytelling and how great it can be in gaming. Because like on the surface, if you've never played Gears of War, it looks like a dude bro game, and it is for the most part. But I mean, like Dom's whole story arc with his wife, that shit made a thug shed some tears, bro. That shit is great. That shit is fucking great. Niggas was going through that shit, man. How Halo explains that is the humanity has less resources later in the war. Maybe they apply that here. Okay. So maybe there are some guns, some rare guns that just got invented and they're lost to time because they don't have as much resources to recreate it. That could be it. Yeah, not Maria. Not well, that's Shadow. But yeah, I hope we see this tomorrow. Speaking of Halo, we definitely feel the weight of it. Halo lead says releasing on PS5 will grow and reconnect the community. I don't know, man. There's no guarantee that Halo grows as a franchise on PS5 because Gears of War was released on PS5 and niggas did not buy that shit. In an interview with Games Radar, creative director Max Slugler and executive producer Damon Kahn were asked about Master Chief making the jump to the rival platform. The pair replied, yeah, they launched that shit with no online. Gears is all about the online, man. Well, I don't want to say all about. I think the story and the multiplayer matter just as much. Like Gears of War is a relic from the past. Like these days, the only thing people really care about is the multiplayer in Call of Duty. You play the story to make fun of it, but like Gears of War and even Halo, these are games that are relics of the past where when you bought the game, the story was fire and so was the multiplayer. And if you played the story, it gave you more context because a lot of times the maps were based on what happened in the story. So you'd be like, oh, that's from that moment. Now they just be doing random shit. And that's why sometimes I'll be feeling like I'm disconnected from the stuff, but that's beside the point. The pair replied that the aim was to bring together longtime Halo fans who've always played on Xbox, lapsed fans who have moved to the PlayStation in recent years and become and complete newcomers who have never owned an Xbox console before. We want your money. We hope to bring along the series veterans who have been with us for the past 25 years and have them play with an entirely new generation. There are people who have never been exposed to Halo. Maybe they've always been on Sony products, switched consoles at a certain point, or just missed it at that time. We want to bring players back together. They also added, Halo is best played when we have a large, healthy community. We see this as a way to grow, expand, and reconnect with the community. See, I don't like this statement, right? The reason Halo Infinite failed and had a small, weak community instead of a big, healthy community like you want is because Halo Infinite was undercooked. The story wasn't good. You guys launched without the couch co-op, which is a staple in Halo. Then the multiplayer, it lacked content. And when you did drop content, it was like a year or two later. So let's not do that. It wasn't because it wasn't on PS5. Halo, guys, Halo has been an Xbox exclusive since I was in fucking middle or high school. Whenever the fuck this shit came out, right? On the original Xbox. It had a healthy community back then, being an Xbox exclusive. 2001, I was 11 years old when this shit came out, the original one. Now, all of a sudden, you need the PS5 for a fucking healthy community. The reason it had a healthy community back then is because there's this thing, right? When you make a bomb-ass game and it's exclusive to a platform, people don't want to, but you force their hand. When something is so good and it's exclusive, they're gonna go buy the platform. It may not be day one, but they're gonna go get it. Halo Infinite was not what it needs to be. And if you're going into that mindset with the PS5, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, and it was less people back then playing games. There are more gamers than ever. So why was the community healthy back then, but it's not now? The quality of the games went down. Ding, 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 ding. It's like, it's not rocket science, guys. Khan also stresses the importance of such move wasn't lost on the team, and bringing Halo to PlayStation means significantly more than a multi-format release would. We want to honor the Halo legacy on PlayStation, and we're paving the way to expand our Halo universe. That's how we see it, he said. And it's not a small thing. We don't want to take it lightly. We definitely feel the weight on it. At the Halo World Championship back in 2024, the Halo Studios announced that it was working on multiple Halo games that were being developed on Unreal Engine 5. The first of which would be Halo's Campaign Evolved, and it was announced for Xbox, PS5, and PC, and is set for 2026. This is where I think they're fucking up. First of all, who the fuck asked for another Halo 1 remake? This is the second time they've remade this shit, right? Then you're remaking it into the Unreal Engine 5, and it doesn't have multiplayer, for those unaware. So for the people who've been a PlayStation gamer their entire life and they've heard about how great Halo is, imagine they don't watch a stream like this. And you was born in 2001. I'm sorry to hear that. Let me I didn't mean that. Anyways, fuck it. You miss a lot of shit, buddy. Anyways, for the people who never played a Halo game and they heard all about it because they were too busy being on PlayStation, imagine they don't watch streams like this. They don't read IGN, they don't read Kotaku. They're not in any type of know when it comes to the gaming community. They just know they saw a trailer on YouTube and they saw it at GameStop and it's gonna come to the PS5. Imagine that person cracks that shit open for their PS5 and they find out that bitch ain't got no fucking multiplayer. I'm sorry. I feel like when it comes to Gears of War, the story and the multiplayer are pretty equal. The story in Halo was important, but there was a turning point where, and I think it was around Halo 3, where the multiplayer became the most important thing. And these days I'm going to lean towards, I think multiplayer matters more in Halo than the single player. So imagine somebody cracking the disc open and that bitch ain't got the most important component on the game. Like to me, when I think of Halo, I think about that big ass sand map in Halo 3 with the big tank rolling around, people jumping from platform to platform, people riding around on motorcycles, airing that bitch out. I think about the big tanks and big team battle. You're not gonna get any of that, guys. You're just gonna get the first game single player story. Yeah, Sand Trap. I think about armor locking and flipping vehicles over and then getting a angry rant on Xbox 360, getting called all types of racial slurs. I lived for those moments, man. I knew the moment I armor locked a nigga's motorcycle, I was getting a racial slur. I got a Zenkai boost every time I got one. Reach was the last great Halo. I agree. Reach was the last Halo that like I was addicted to. I think Infinite's multiplayer had potential, but like it just lacked the content. A B12 shot, yeah, it was a B12 vitamin shot, bro. I don't know what the fuck they talking about in this interview. I'm not saying it would happen, and I'm also not wishing it, but I would not be surprised if this Halo 1 remake for the PS5 goes the same route as the Gears of War remake. And it just doesn't sell well because it doesn't have the multiplayer. Gears of War is older than Cooper Flag. Shit happens, bro. Sometimes niggas is born yesterday. It's nothing they could do about it. Should have won the race faster. I left my dad's balls much quicker, you know? Y'all niggas need to speed up. Anthem news. For all 2 fans of Anthem still out there, there's hope for you. Anthem subreddit. Do these companies just hate money? Nah, they clearly love money. They're just lazy. They want to make as much money without doing any work. A great example is another EA game is EA Skate. No work done. But they made sure that story was done. Anthem subreddit gets a new lease on life as a modder shows the game running without EA servers. We didn't realize how much demand there'd still be in the forum to keep the discussion going. While Anthem is dead, and let's be honest with ourselves, it's fine. Most of us forgot Anthem even existed long before the final call, and we were generally surprised to discover last summer that the servers are still running, which isn't so much of an indictment of the game, but of the system that it produced. Who tells BioWare to make a live service shooter? Anyway, what's done is done, or maybe not. As the curtain fell, a small group of diehards expressed hope that it might somehow be brought back without a reliance on EA servers. Hope that was given, well, hope when former executive producer Mark Dara said Anthem did actually have a local server node right up until the few months before launch, and more importantly, the code is there to be salvaged and recovered, aka if you want to search the game's code, you might be able to mod it in. That's a far cry from actually making it happen, but some people do seem to at least be making progress in that direction. These YouTubers have posted a video showing Anthem alive and kicking, and big points here with 2 players, actually 2 accounts logged in simultaneously. The second account joins around the 4:30 mark if you want to cut straight to it. It's very preliminary stuff, a proof of concept rather than anything like a playable game, and a Redditor says is working with Fort Forge's restoration project described as a really hacky thing and advised that everyone temper their expectations accordingly. Of course, not everyone is taking that advice entirely to heart. They're hyping it already. Anthem lives. Shout out to Beats with the sub. Appreciate it. There's still a long way to go, and it's quite possibly the whole thing will be derailed or fall apart, either by technical issues or a cease and desist letter from EA. And even if it does all come together perfectly, I don't anticipate a great Anthem revival. The game was a flop. And the fact that it's effectively impossible to get it now means that whatever curiosity spike revive servers might drive isn't going to result in a surge of new players. I think it's great that Anthem could remain accessible to those who love it, but hopes expressed by a few turbo optimists that EA will recognize the error of its ways and bring Anthem back officially are awfully optimistic. Translation, there's no guarantee this mod will be complete. EA might shut it down, or they just might run into technical issues, but you know, it could happen. I just think it's sad that like you can't play the game, certain games that you bought anymore. Like there's somebody out there that's the world's biggest Anthem fan, not me, nigga, but somebody's out there, and the world's biggest Anthem fan cannot play this game, and this is the problem with live service games. Also, the fact that you're just one patch away from ruining your game. And speaking of that, a great example is Battlefield 6. A new patch came out, and from what I know, the only thing that's new in that patch is you can now change the color of the reticule on your gun scope. I installed that patch yesterday and my PC crashed 2 times in a row. Not the game crashed, my entire PC crashed because of this one patch. And this is why I fucking hate live service games, because you're always one patch away from being fucking ruined. I said, that's enough for me. We're not going for a third one. We're on break when it comes to Battlefield 6. I'm not risking my investment. Y'all see the price of RAM. The price of these PC parts is going up. I'm not risking it for no goddamn Battlefield 6. Y'all need to put out another patch to fix this shit, or otherwise I'm moving on, man. It happened to Tekken 8, shaking my head. It's always one patch, man. I hate they gave up on Anthem. I was actually looking forward to Anthem 2.0, and I'm surprised that EA didn't give them the chance to do it. Like, if Anthem 2.0 was a flop, then yeah, shut it down. But I'm surprised they didn't give them the proper chance to redeem themselves, because we've seen so many. There's a new genre of games now. The redemption arc games like No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk 2077. So don't tell me it's not possible. EA just didn't want to foot the bill, which is crazy, because they don't want to foot the bill on games that are failing. They don't want to foot the bill on games that are unfinished like Skate. They just want to put out Madden, FIFA, and college football and just rake in profits for their stake. They're fucking lazy, and fuck you guys, because you guys canceled Black Panther. Yep, it's been proven it can be done. It's been proven time and time. It's not even like a what if type of story. We know it can be done. The guy that was handling Anthem 2.0 sounded really enthusiastic for it. Yeah, I remember the article when they announced it. I was super I definitely would have tried it, man. I would have tried it, because the game had potential, but it just was undercooked. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Nintendo's producer I don't know. I'm sorry, bro. I'm just going to call you Ken. Ken Tanabe has seemingly confirmed his retirement. Mr. Ken, a veteran producer at Nintendo who's become known for his work on the Metroid Prime series, has reportedly announced his retirement, his last hurrah. Covered by VGC, Tanabe's announcement comes via an interview with Japanese magazine Nintendo Dream, which has been uploaded online by user Weibo. Tanabe states that Metroid Prime 4 was to be his final game at the company, and that his protege, Riza Tabata, succeeding him should another Prime game be made in the future. Translation, little leak, meaning there's a chance there could be another. If this game sells well, there could be another Prime. Tabata's first game with Nintendo was coincidentally Metroid Prime on the GameCube. She has since worked as an assistant producer on titles such as Donkey Kong Country Returns, Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door on the Switch, etc., etc. As for Tanabe, he reportedly states in the interview that he would have wanted to create a Metroid title focused on Samus and Sylux, since dropping subtle hints in Prime 3 Corruption and Federation Force. Releasing that Prime 4 Beyond might be his last shot to do this. He decided to make his first entry in the Sylux saga. Please don't do open world again. So, you know, a legend is retiring. You know, he has the whole statement there. It's basically what's in the article. And there's also a chance we could see another Prime. Hopefully if they do make another Prime, hopefully his protege that he put in charge of the Prime series gets to see his vision of what he wanted for the future of the game with the whole sagas that he wanted to do. Am I tripping, or was there like no discussions after Prime 4 dropped? Didn't even see clips. Oh no, there was mad discussions. Nintendo locked music behind an amiibo. Now, if you're asking why you didn't see more discussions, yeah, $30 amiibo, by the way. If you're asking why you didn't see more discussions, I think it's the fact that the Switch 2 is still a new platform. Most people don't have it. The sales have slowed down. We've had articles on this stream covering it. So my theory is the 3 million people that really wanted the Nintendo Switch 2, they bought it. But after that, the sales went. Matter of fact, since Nintendo has pushed 3 million units in the first month, I don't think Nintendo has revealed how many units they've sold. So we don't even know if they hit 4, 5, 6. They might be at 3.5 million for all we know. And if that's the case, the reason you're not hearing a lot of people talk about Metroid is because it's just not a lot of people who own a Switch 2. So you're not gonna really see those conversations from the Minish Cap Mafia, the Nintendorks. Shout out to Cody J with the $5 super chat. What I miss is those Anthem streams from back in the day. Those are classics. It was a lot of funny ass streams, bro. Flying around just shooting shit with the boys. Feels like people are looking for 3DS more than Switch 2's 3DSs. What, a 3DS is worth a lot of money or some shit? I still got mine. So that's your update. Is there anything in the sub box that I need to be aware of before I get on the game? Let me switch accounts. What's going on here? Whoever said that about Tekken 8, thank you. I've been wondering why I couldn't even get 60 frames in practice mode. Wait, the frame rate fucked the game up? Say it ain't so. Dusk Bloods gonna add 1 million or 2. Yeah, Dusk Bloods will definitely generate some sales. Firestarter's official trailer. Atrium gameplay reveal. Grand Blue versus Rising gameplay trailer. But we saw the Street Fighter 6 trailer. Marvel Rivals official Luna skin. I don't care about this shit. Yakuza Kiwami 2. I'm good off that. Why are they dropping tutorials? The game's not out. They actually sold 10.36 million units for the Switch 2. Where are you getting that number from? I haven't seen that. Where are you getting that number from? I'm not saying you're wrong. Where are you getting that from? You got an article or something? I'd argue that's actually worse. If the Switch really sold 10 million units, first of all, that's good. But second, that means nobody's playing Metroid 4. Like, because then there are a decent amount of Switches out there. Nobody's playing that shit then. Do I play any gacha games? I do not. I'm broke. Final Fantasy 7, Ever Crisis, Core War. What the fuck? Boom, 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 boom. Matter of fact, let me just Google 10 million Nintendo Switch 2. I'll be forgetting Google exists. Oh yeah, you're right. I must have missed this article or something, or I don't remember it. Yeah, Nintendo's 2 Switch sales surpassed 10 million units. This was in November. This is a couple months ago, so this is the most up-to-date data we have then. So yeah, I guess the reason people aren't talking about Metroid is because maybe a lot of people didn't buy it. Because you got to keep in mind, there's 10 million units floating around, but not everybody got Metroid. You know, everybody buys a platform for different reasons. So of those 10 million, what's the percentage that actually own it? I don't know. What up? Foundry. I don't know what the fuck that is. Island of Ash. Why they got James? Y'all see this? Why they got James Harden as like a knight or some shit? What the fuck, nigga? Rainbow Six Siege X Selene. Fatal Fury. Is this a Ember Combat? What is this a gacha game? Snoopy and the Great Mystery Club for the Switch 2. See? This is why nobody talking about the Switch right here. Snoopy and the Great Mystery. Nobody's trying to play that. 1348X Voto official. What, nigga? Gotta fight that shit, man. Far Cry 3 60. This is what I was talking about. They dropped the Far Cry Primal 60 FPS update. Nobody asked for that. Mechaborn. I've seen mixed opinions on Metroid. Yeah, that's another issue too. Metroid Prime wasn't what it needed to be. It was mixed reviews. The general consensus seems to be that Metroid Prime 4 is somewhere between a 6 and an 8. So I'd say most people would say like a 7 is a fair score. And when it comes to Metroid Prime as a legendary series, people are expecting like a 9 or higher. So because it didn't really hit like it needed to, that's why I don't think you're seeing a lot of people talking about it either. All right, these are the only things I'm seeing. Let's see what this joint is. Is this the James Harden game? It is.
You tore reality itself apart, using my soul in the hope of gaining great power. Life came to a standstill, and civilization choked on its own blood. 5 centuries later, I rose from the dust of your dead temples.
Ooh, Hardened Souls, Full Sail University. Nah, click that Pooh Bear video. What Pooh Bear video? I didn't even see it. Full Sail alert. Oh, titties.
Let's move. War never ends. We can only march on.
Yeah, the titty physics is going crazy. All the CPU power went to her chest.
Roger. Engaging the enemy.
Gooner game, yeah. Yeah, this looks like a gacha game. I don't see a single basketball in the game. Yeah, we're good off that. What is this? I've never heard of this. 1348X Voto. This name is terrible.
That's not fair. The world is not fair.
Yo, that haircut is atrocious, bruh. This nigga went to the barber, said, fuck me up, please.
Oh, my noble knight Erin, would thou aid this fair damsel to rise?
Bianca, where have they taken you?
Full Sail University sophomore year project. Mechborn. It's a card game? You're alright. Arc Knights is a gacha game. Looks like one. They all got the same art style. Plot your course. Build your deck. Optimize it. So it's a turn-based card battling game with mechs. Yeah, not my cup of tea, you know. Looks okay, but you know, I'm good at that. Full Sail graduating class lineup. Fire starters. Why are you trying to shake my hand? It's pure sadism. What the hell? Get a kiss on your nose. Beep. What the fuck am I looking at? Fucking playing Tony Hawk Poor Skater. That's what this shit is. In Tony Hawk's Poor Skater, you play a nigga that skateboards on a PS4 with wheels because they're fucking poor. Let's see, Atrium. Grand Blue Fantasy versus.
I built a whole new set of drills to bust your ass. Get ready for your worst nightmare! Bring it!
Isn't this a whole fighting game unless I'm bugging?
At attention, maggots! You're gonna learn today. Think our best makes you
Or is this a new one? Oh, so it's a new character to it? Gotcha.
more where that came from. I want to see some grit. I won't.
He was rocking that Mandark.
So come for the jugular. I'm ready. This is it. Good.
She a shooter though.
Finally shaping up to be a real soldier. Who said you could rest? On your feet.
Furry alert.
Baby. Been itching to show a lowlife like you some hospitality. Get ready to kiss the ground.
I still play this from time to time. I remember this game was good.
Fancy snowflake. Careful now. I'll melt your candy ass. That all?
I mean, I guess this is good for all 2 people who are still playing it. You know, it's got a gun in it, so no balls, but it's